Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. So today's pick a card is basically bringing closure to a connection. So the purpose of this video is if you guys are still stuck in limbo about a connection, struggling to find closure or get over a certain situation with somebody in your life, or you just want a little bit of clarity about a situation in your life, the purpose of this video is to bring clarity and help you heal that situation in any way and answering any questions that spirit feel you need to know. I wasn't even going to do this video today, but I was meditating and just like cleansing, and I had this written down as a suggestion for a while ready to do, and I was waiting for the right moment, and it just came to my head and I really wanted to do that today, which is why we're doing it. So this can be for, it doesn't have to just be for a relationship, like romantic connection or like a situationship or an ex or anything like that. You can apply this to friendships, family members as well if you'd like. And I'm going to be keeping it very open. I do want to say there may be different questions asked in different readings because I'm going to be connecting with your spirit guides, and basically the message with your spirit guides I'm asking is, what is it that you need to know that will help you get over that situation? So before I get you guys to choose a pile, I do want to say trigger warning, because these type of topics, especially when you're healing a situation like that, they can get heavy. So I do want to say trigger warning. I'm really going to be making sure that I'm getting everything up that you need to hear, not what you want to hear, what you need to hear. But do remember that this is a general reading, so not every single message is going to resonate, so just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Yeah, let's get in. So we have 4 piles in front for you guys to choose from. The first pile is the black tourmaline for pile number 1. Pile number 2 is the sunstone. For pile number 3, we have the jade palmstone. If you see like any charcoal or like black on my fingers, guys, I was doing my protection spell and I got charcoal on my hand, so remember that through the reading. Pile number 4, we have the ocean jasper. So see which crystal you are drawn to, guys. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual. So see which pile you are drawn to, and I will see you guys at your timestamp. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at the current connection that you have in mind, and we are going to be helping you guys find closure or find any clarity in this situation. So before I begin, I do want to just say again, trigger warning, because this can get a little bit heavy, and the purpose of this is to help you find clarity and help you get over or heal a situation or mend a situation within. So you guys chose the black tourmaline crystal, and I'm gonna pop it up here. I hope you like my spread. I've been waiting to use this spread like for ages. I bought it early because I wanted to do it last year, but I forgot, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to use it because I was ill, and I can actually use it now, so I'm happy. So I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, pile number 1, spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of pile number 1 and pile number 1's person that they are thinking of? What closure do pile number 1 need in regards to this situation? Straight away I just heard it's not your fault. There's a strong female energy coming through saying it's not your fault, and it doesn't have to be something heavy, because I'm almost being shown a scenario. It more so feels like with a partner, but I feel like it could be with like a friendship as well, even a family member. But it's like you reacting to something that was like disrespect, and somebody putting like the blame on you, and then you feeling like you've done wrong. Because there's a strong maternal female energy which feels more like an ancestor. It feels like someone you would have actually known in this lifetime, like they could have passed away when you were young, but it's like a female energy. Or it could be like an ancestor from generations back, but they're around you. Maybe you know about them and you work with them, but there is a female energy coming through to say it's not your fault. I'm going to get into it with the tarot cards, but that's something that I'm really being pushed to say, like, it's not your fault. I want to get into it. So pile 1. Closure for pile 1 with this current connection, spirit guides. What closure does pile number 1 need? What do they need to know about this current situation? This person that you're actually asking about, they do have love for you, but they don't know themselves very well. The person that you're asking about, they're very cut off to their heart chakra and their emotions, and they don't know how to really get deep. They're making me feel like, I don't know if you've ever like fed fish like in a pond or something like that, and they'll come up to the surface for like the food or whatever, but you make the slightest move or touch to go near them and they like scurry away and they hide. This person feels like that, but in regards to their emotional state. Like they're fine being sensual or sexual if it's like a relationship or something, or even in just their life. They're fine standing up for themselves. They're fine talking talk. But when it comes to their emotional body being tapped into, they literally scurry. I'm hearing the word scurry away. And they don't quite like it. So I feel like this person's always on the defense, or always got like, it feels like a suit of armor is what it feels like. And I feel like whoever this was in your life, because they're not being specific, like relationship, friendship, anything like that, they're not being too specific, but whoever this was in your life, they were very cut off to themselves. And they're saying about you, I don't know if you've seen that quote from Alice in Wonderland, but there's a quote from Alice in Wonderland and it says, the reason, darling, that you're in pain is because you're a very real thing in a very fake world, or something along those lines. Don't quote me on it. It was something like that. You're a very real thing in a very something world. I don't know what it is, but there's something about you. Like, one thing about you, and I will say about you, you have a very open heart chakra, and you're very in tune with your emotional state and your emotional body. And it's funny because I don't pick up a lot of water energy in like your chart or anything like that, but I also feel like you are very tapped in to your emotions. I feel like you're very empathic. Spirit's confirming that you are an empath, if you've ever wondered. And I feel like there was just this contrast between you and this person of, you were full of emotions. Sometimes it was almost overactive in a way. And they were very void of emotion. And every time that they would feel something, it was like they would run, or they would, you know, when cats are scared, they hiss or they claw. This person may have been mean or defensive when they felt like you were kind of like knocking on their heartstrings a little bit, whoever that was. And I want you to know, again, it's coming through, it's not your fault. This is them, and it's something that they need to work on and heal, but they haven't chose to do it yet. They're choosing to stay stagnant, and that is not your responsibility to pull them out of that. They have to heal on their own. I hope this is making sense. The fact that the Judgment card came through, I do want to say this is a spiritual connection. Whoever this is that you're inquiring about, you and this soul would have spoken to each other and had a conversation before you kind of incarnated and chose to go through certain lessons. Because the thing is, when we look at like soulmates and we look at like, you know, whatever the case, especially like soulmates, we think of soulmate, we think of one person, and we think of like that person we're going to be with forever, but that's not the case. And even karmic connections that may have hurt us, they are still connected to us on a soul level. And I'm going to be doing a video really breaking down what soulmates are soon. Hopefully I will get that done soon, because say now we're in a certain phase of our life where we need to learn self-love. We have a group of souls that we've had incarnations before and that we're connected to on a soul level, and they are kind of our soulmates that we're vibrating at when we're in maybe like a lower vibration or whatever, and we meet them because we're on that same vibration, and they trigger us sometimes to help us heal and ascend. And then we move up, and then we meet new souls who are more in a higher vibration or have healed like we have, and then they're part of our soul tribe too. I hope this is making sense. It's like layers, but sometimes people choose not to do their inner work themselves, and we have to leave them behind as we ascend. And I'm being shown that this situation, it's like this person, you both chose to trigger each other in ways. You chose to unlearn old habits, you chose to heal, you chose to ascend. This person chose to stay still. And I feel there's almost like a bittersweet energy here, but there's also this energy like from you that's keeping you still stuck with this person. They're saying this is where the hook is, and it's like, I maybe wish I could have saved them, or why couldn't they have done the inner work and ascended with me? Like, I wanted to be with them. Or like, even if it's not that, it's coming through in the sense of like maybe you argued and you almost blame yourself, or you feel like you need to explain yourself, or you need to defend yourself. over a situation that happened. Because I keep hearing it's not your fault, it's not your fault. Like this person's almost making you out to be a villain for maybe standing up for yourself or putting in a boundary that maybe you hadn't done before. And I feel like you're wanting to justify it because this person's kind of making you second guess it. And I keep hearing it's not your fault, it's not your fault, stand your ground, hold your ground, it's not your fault. You don't need to explain anything, you know? And I feel like that wound is coming from childhood, maybe where you weren't allowed to have boundaries as a child. Maybe you had a narcissistic parent, or you were just taught that you weren't allowed to put your foot down, or you weren't allowed to say no because what the other person said went. And you were wrong for saying any different. I feel like that's where it's coming from. And I feel like that's what keeps you caught in this situation with this person. It's not that, if it's a relationship, it's not that you still want to be with them. It's not that, you know, you're yearning after them. What's having you think about the situation, it's you wanting to justify. You wanting to have that balance. Because some of you guys may have like some Libra placements, because you guys don't like to argue. And if there's bad blood, you want to like resolve it. And I almost feel like even if you don't want to speak to this person within you, there's this need of like, we need to be on speaking terms, or we need to hash this out, or there needs to be a balance. It's like, and you almost feel like the responsibility to do it when it's not your responsibility to do, because I don't feel that you really did anything wrong. I hope this is making sense. But that's what I'm picking up. I want to get obviously more. I've only pulled one card, but this was a soulful connection. This was supposed to happen, and I feel like it's had a trigger in you learning something about yourself, whether it was self-love, self-worth, or just going in. Maybe it triggered you into a spiritual awakening. Maybe it just like kind of like jolted you forward to kind of like do better or want better for yourself. But either way, it something about this connection was a turning point for you. You realizing something about this connection, or you ascending from this connection, or you finally saying no, I'm hearing, or putting in a boundary, was a turning point for you in letting the universe know what you want out of life. It was detrimental to your growth as a soul, and you and this person on the higher realms, I'm being told, have kind of made that agreement that this would happen. Pile number 1, you don't like leaving people behind too, and I feel like you've ascended a lot and had to leave people behind, or you've grown up a lot and had to leave people behind, and it's bittersweet for you. It's something that sometimes holds you to the past. I'm being shown Cancer. Maybe you have a lot of Cancer energy in your chart. Pile number 1, the Lovers. This very well may have been a romantic connection. And I do feel that there was a soul tie, or there may even still be a soul tie with this person. And the reason I'm saying that is, you know, I said you guys may have, I do feel like you have a soul connection. I feel like you've had past lives together, and I feel like you guys pick up on each other when the other one is thinking of them. So sometimes like you're not even thinking of this person, and they'll pop in your mind, and you may get annoyed at yourself, like, why am I thinking of this person? Why am I thinking about this situation? And what you're actually doing is picking up on them thinking of you. And I don't say that lightly, because I don't want to like lead anybody on, but I'm really shown an emotional spiritual connection. And that can happen, especially with soul tribe members. We have that a lot, and when we're in tune with ourselves, we can pick up on that. But I feel like you and this person almost have like an emotional tie, which is why there was triggers emotionally, and you were like the bipolar opposites of each other emotionally. And there's that soul tie there that was like drawing you in. I do feel like there was a bit of a runner chaser dynamic because of that. This person had you learn to boundary up, I feel, and maybe pull back for yourself and know when you needed to give to yourself. Whereas I feel for the other person that you're asking about, what they were learning was to open up more and be vulnerable. And I feel like you were a teacher. I'm being told you were a spiritual teacher to them in that way, to learn to do that, to be vulnerable, to be open. But they're still learning that lesson of being open. Because I feel like I'm actually being told this person watches you from afar. And there's almost like, if it's a relationship, it's a what if situation for the both of you as well. It's like, what if? The one that got away type of thing. I feel like for you, it's like, what if this person chose to open up and ascend with me? What if? And I feel like this person's like, what if I actually took that leap? Like there's a what if feeling that keeps a kind of door open between the both of you. Pile number 1. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. What do they need to know about this connection? What closure can we give them about this connection? Okay, we've got the 9 of Wands. One more card, spirit guides. What can we tell them about this connection? What closure do they need? What do they need to know? What does pile number one need to know about this situation? This person doesn't want to budge from where they're at right now. Look at the Hierophant at the back of the deck. This is a very spiritual connection. This is a very divinely fated connection. And I'm almost being told like you crossed paths in a weird way. Like maybe you like worked at a job with them for like a month or two in a job that you never would have worked in. And then you just kind of like met them and then you left. And it was like that initial reaction had you in each other's lives. Or maybe like you just met at a coffee shop one day. I don't know why they keep taking me to coffee. I don't know whether they used to get coffee or they used to bring you coffee, but coffee is coming through. Or you met at like a coffee shop one day, or maybe you met online and it was just like something very out of the blue. It just kind of like happened out of nowhere, but it was a fated situation. But this person with the Nine of Wands, what I'm really looking at here is two people that I feel like you both met at a time when there was a lot up in the air, or there was a lot of change in both of your lives. And I feel like you both gravitated to each other. But what I do feel about this connection, pile number one, is that you guys were wound mates. You have a soul connection. I would still call it a soulmate, but it's a wound mate. You had triggers and wounds within each other that were mirroring, and you both chose, your souls both chose to meet, to kind of mirror, so that you two could grow and evolve within yourselves, whether that was like together or not together. And I feel like your person has decided, remember energies can change, but right now your person is deciding to stay put where they are. For some of you guys, and you will know about this, I'm not telling you anything you don't want to know. For some of you guys, I feel like they may be in a situation with someone else, because that is coming up, but it's a very comfortable situation, if that makes sense. There isn't a lot of growth there. It's a very comfortable situation. It's they don't have to tap into the emotional body. They don't have to get vulnerable, because maybe the other person does all of that for them, or maybe it's just a very shallow situation, or it's very like for what it looks like. It's a more how it comes across to others type of situation. I still have brain fog, so I'm finding it hard to find the words. It's like a show and tell relationship. I hope that makes sense. Or even if it's like a friend, they may be acting like everything's fine and blah, 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 fine without you. But underneath, there is these emotions, but they're not dealing with them. It's almost like a volcano. It's kind of like laying there until it's time to like spill out. And I do feel like this person at one point will evolve, but it doesn't look like anytime soon. This person feels stuck to where they're at. They don't want to move. It's like that fish that was scared and it swam to the bottom of the pond. It's now buried itself under the sand and it's just like waiting there until that person leaves. Like that's what this person's doing right now. It's almost like they're in self-protection mode, and it's like, I'm going to stay here and stay comfy. That's what they're deciding to do. But them choosing to do that, it wasn't because they didn't like you, because I feel like some of you guys need to hear this. It wasn't because they didn't like you. It wasn't because they didn't find you attractive, or they didn't find you like, they didn't think that you were worthy. It was always a them thing. You were both triggering things within each other. It was always a them thing. It was like, I'm not ready to take that leap. This is a big risk. This is a big jump. I'm not ready to be vulnerable. This is going to get... There's something about like, you guys may be being on social media a lot, or texting each other a lot, and not being with each other physically, because there's something about... I love to fantasize about this. I love this to be in my mind, and I love to think about how this could be, but I'm scared to make it reality, because that's when it gets real, and I'm scared to really open up like that. There's something about that, pile one, that they're scared of, and they're looking at you, pile one, like the Queen of Cups, and I feel like you would fulfill them emotionally, and they're very aware of that, and they see you as somebody that's very emotionally fulfilling. I almost feel like they go back to you a lot. But it's almost like, and I saw this analogy in one of my other videos the spirit was showing me, and I'm going to say it again. It's like they see your light, they see your purity, they see your emotions, and it's like they yearn for that because they're not connected to it within themselves. So they run to you for it, and it's like they're running towards you because you hold that. But then as they're getting closer, your light is shining on their insecurities and their worries. And to get to that light within themselves and that purity within themselves, they have to look those insecurities and worries and pains in the eye, and they don't want to do that. They really don't. So then they run away. And I feel like what that created with you then was you thinking, well, what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? What's wrong with me? Why don't they like me? And I feel like you've had to learn self-love and self-worth and know that that was nothing to do with you. And there's a lot of self-worth and vulnerability triggers here. But this person does have a lot of love for you, but there's a very bittersweet energy coming through pile 1 of like the one that got away. And I do feel that this person has a lot of regrets. You know that song? It's like, regrets, regrets. I don't know who the hell sings that, but that just came up from spirit. But they do have a lot of regrets on maybe how they treated you or how they went about things. And I feel like they kick themselves, pile 1. I feel like they think back to situations and how things went down. And they know that they didn't treat you very well. Like, they know that they didn't. I feel like there may have been a conversation or an argument in which they acted very childish, or try to make out like you were the villain, you know, like I was saying at the beginning, it's not your fault. And they know that they did wrong there, because I see somebody slapping their knee, like I know, like they know they did wrong. I hope you know that. Like they know how they treated you or how they went about a situation. They know that it wasn't right. And they do kick themselves, but it's also, this person does, like I said, they have a lot of pride, because they're not connected to their emotions like that. So they have that pride, and it's like, I'm not going to come off this pedestal and tell anybody that I was in the wrong though. Like, I've got to hold my own now. You know what I mean? I've made my bed, I've got to hold it. But there's a lot of thinking back and wondering what if. The song for you guys is Jason Derulo, What If, because that's what I'm hearing. There's just a lot of thinking back and just like, I wish I could have jumped forward for, like, that's what I'm feeling from them. You definitely are that one that got away, and they do think of you, and I feel like that's why sometimes they cross your mind out of nowhere. Like, you're emotionally fine, you know, you'll just be like gonna grab something to eat, or like go, I don't know why I keep picking up coffee. Maybe some of you guys are drinking coffee. You may go grab a coffee or something like that, and then all of a sudden they come across your mind. That's them tapping into your energy, like thinking of you, and you're picking up on it. And if you guys want that to stop, I've had that happen with me. I actually went to my psychic to do a ritual to get that to stop with me. But there's ways you can do that by yourself. And one of the main ways, because I've done it with other people, and that was to either write a letter and burn it and allow the energy to go, or call in their higher self through a meditation. Imagine a white light from you to that person and cut that cord. Say everything you need to say and cut that cord. Imagine you visualizing scissors cutting that cord. That's a way that you can do that as well. Or you can go to a psychic and have like a ritual done. But pile 1, or you can just really discipline your mind. But for me, I find it really hard to discipline my mind sometimes, so that's why I didn't really mention that. But because just moving on and bringing in all that fresh energy and letting go of the old, it can usually help distort that cord. What is this card that we have? Oh, wow, okay. We have Healing the Heart. I feel like what this connection triggered within you, pile 1, is like self-love, self-worth. I feel like you were used to overgiving. I feel like you learned in your childhood to earn love, because we have 23 here, and obviously that adds up to 5, and I'm thinking of the 5th house, and I'm thinking of like that childlike energy of the 5th house. And I feel like you are very connected to your inner child, but because you're very connected to your inner child, I feel like there's a lot that may have gone on in your childhood, and I feel that you learned, maybe either some of you guys had like a narcissistic parent, or it was just something that you learned very early on to, maybe you felt like you had to earn love or beg for love. And I feel like you felt like you had to give to receive a little bit of love back. Maybe there was like abandonment issues there. And I feel like this connection triggered that within you, to learn to love yourself and hold energy back for yourself. When somebody was take, and you were learning to kind of like balance that out, you know? That's what that was. That's the lesson that you were learning. And I feel like that was a big lesson that you were learning, because like I said at the beginning, you guys definitely are empaths, and I feel like, you know, that's usually like an empath lesson that everybody learns, to like set those boundaries and, you know, love yourself and put yourself first. And I feel like that's something that it was doing for you. Pile number 1. In the back of the deck, we have Call of the Muse. At the back of the deck, I just hear you are money, meaning like you are a star. Like you really, look at the stars here, literally, like you are a star. And I feel like you're so talented. You guys are so talented, and I feel like in the past you haven't realized your worth. You haven't realized like who you are. You haven't realized how abundant you are. It's like you were just giving it away freely not even realizing what you were giving away. You know what I mean? You have that beautiful purity and that connection to, you know, the universe and that beautiful heart chakra. And I just feel like you have all of that light. And for a long time, I feel like you just handed it out like, you know, like, because you just love people, you know what I mean? You wanted to give to people, but I just feel like it drew in a lot of people that would take, and people that weren't attached to their own light or confidence or whatever, and they were all drawing in to try and get some of yours. And I feel like you had to learn to put that boulder up and be like, no, you know, it's a balanced situation. And I feel like that is the lesson of this connection, pal number one. I feel like you look at this situation as what if as well. And I'm really being I keep being told to say as well, from more so your person's higher self, they have love for you. They think you're a great person. They may have tried to villainize you, but I'm hearing that if they did try to villainize you, the reason they try to villainize you is because they were pushing out what they thought of themselves onto you. And that's something that I felt really called to deliver then when I tapped into that higher self. Because the higher self wants you to know that. Because there's a kinship with you, your higher self, and this person's higher self. And that higher self wants you to know that. And they do think of you, and there is a love there. But they don't love themselves enough to have a healthy connection right now. And you've got to do what's best for you. And the higher self is championing you on doing what's best for you and moving forward. I do feel like you have a connection coming forth, like a new connection, pal one. If this is a romantic situation that you were looking into, I do feel like you have a romantic situation coming in, like a new one. It feels like next year. If you're watching this in 2021, it feels like next year. And it's very balanced because you've been putting in the work. It's not like imminent, it's not like next week, next month, but it feels like next year, and it's very fresh, and it's going to come in quite quickly. It's just going to come in quite quickly, and it's going to come in at a time where you're not even thinking of love, you're not even aware of it. It feels like spring, and I'm picking up strong Taurus energy, so it could be around Taurus season, pal one, but you have a new connection coming in. One, I feel like you had to learn one thing your souls had to learn in this lifetime, and not just with this connection, but with a lot of connections, to move on and ascend and not wait for other people to get to where you're at, like move on by yourself. And I feel like that's been really hard for you, but I'm hearing that you're mastering it. Because I almost feel like with this connection, you're mastering it. Like, okay, I'm just going to move on. I can't wait around. You know, this door's been open for a long time. There is a draft. I need to shut the door. I am cold. You know what I mean? But one door closes, another door opens is the message from Spirit. Pile one. Because we let go of people. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to see them again, because our souls are eternal. And then we go to the higher realms and we see them again. You know what I mean? Because we have that kinship with them. They're not gone forever. And in the next incarnation, you could meet them and you're both on the same wavelength. You both choose to be on that same wavelength. That usually happens. And that's something that I wanted to share more from me to you. Oh, wow. Look at the card that popped out for you guys. Don't let your past hold you back. That's literally what I was saying. You're learning to step forward. You're learning to move forward. You're learning to push forward and not wait for somebody else to be where you need to be, you know? I feel like this connection was triggered from like a family situation in childhood, where maybe you were waiting for like a parent to come back, or a parent to love you the way that they were supposed to, or a parent to say sorry, or a parent to love you the right way. Look at the back. What do you need to release? And it's more so the past. It's more so the what if. Because you see, the thing is about you guys as well, like you see the light in the people around you. And it's like, I see you in your mind and your energy going, I see your potential. I see what you could be, but you're not choosing to be it. And it's frustrating me. And I feel like for some time you were trying to show them what they could be, but they just didn't see it in themselves. They just didn't. And that wasn't for you to do. And I feel like what you've been learning with this connection, I think the final like from this connection, the final kind of thing that will set you free from this connection is making peace that they've chosen to do what they're doing and stay where they're at, and just move forward and ascend into the new and open the new doors for you, because you deserve newness and happiness and balanced connections. And if this person isn't bringing it, we let go, and that's something that you're learning to do. And it takes its time. Don't push yourself to let go. Like, it just takes its time, one step at a time. But there's a lot of newness coming up for you, pile, when you're moving into a new phase in your life. And I feel like there's a lot of new beautiful connections about to come in. You're just learning to kind of take your head off that door, you know what I mean, and shut it and wait for the new one to open. But I want you to know that this person does care. This person does care about you, and did care about you too. They just weren't balanced in themselves. So pile 1, I really hope that this brought you clarity on your connection. I really hope that this resonated for you. I hope this helped with any sort of closure on this connection. I'm sending you guys all of my love. Hit the thumbs up if this resonated and comment down below. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you are watching. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 2, welcome to your reading. So we are currently taking a look at the current connection that you have in mind, and we are going to be bringing closure to this connection and this situation. So have your person in mind, and I'm going to be tapping in and bringing you guys any clarity and help with cleansing this connection or bringing closure to you with this connection. So you guys chose the sunstone, and I'm going to pop that up here while we get into the video. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we will move into oracle. And remember, trigger warning, it may get heavy, but yeah, let's get in. So spirit guides, can you tap me into pile number 2? Straight away they're showing me a black crow as a symbol. So this could be like an ancestor or a spirit guide, or this could be your animal totem if you've been seeing black crows a lot. They're showing me that in my mind's eye, so I thought I'd get that out. Something I do feel like you guys have psychic abilities, because they're taking me to the third eye straight away, pile 2, and they're letting me know it's more so clarity for you in your own life, nothing to do with the connection, that you guys have strong psychic foresight. You're able to see timelines and situations before they happen. You may have psychic dreams, but there's something about you, you just know, like you just know, you know when someone's lying to you, you know, saying what a friend isn't speaking to you, it's like you know in your mind why, before they've even said. It's like you pick up on that. You have strong psychic abilities, and your third eye is very open as I tap into you, pile 2. So I thought I'd get that out the way because that just came through. But yeah, tap me into pile number 2 and that person. We're bringing closure to pile number 2's pile number 2 with that person. So what closure do pile number 2 need to hear? What do they need to know about this connection? Oh god, okay, I'm not going to use those cards, they just literally flopped out. But I'm hearing that there's a lot unsaid with you and your person, whether it's you or whether it's them. I'm actually being shown a block button. There's a lot that was unsaid. Like, I almost feel like I'm biting my tongue. Like, I need to say something to you, or I want to say something to you. Either I physically can't because I'm blocked, or pride is getting in the way of me saying anything. And that could be from you or them. I almost feel like it's being mirrored. In a way, but there's a lot left unsaid. There's things that need to be cleared or said, or there's pieces of the puzzle that haven't been revealed yet but will be revealed in regards to how this situation may have broke down or what happened within the situation. That's something I'm being told. So pile 2, spirit guides, what closure do pile number 2 need to hear? What closure? I do feel like your person, especially if it was a relationship, I do want to say, and it's coming through, I don't feel like this person was, there's something coming through of like, this person isn't full on lying, but this person is bending the truth. And I feel like intuitively, because you were psychic as F, I feel like you were picking up on that. Because I'm almost being shown you saying something to someone and you're on the money. And I almost see you like you're lying, or you're mentioning something to somebody, and then the other person standing their ground like, no, I'm not lying, because they weren't specifically lying. They were bending the truth. And they think, or they're trying to convince themselves they weren't doing anything wrong because they weren't outright lying, but they weren't telling the whole truth. They were beating around the bush. They were bending the truth, which in my eyes, that's still lying. But they're trying to convince themselves like, no, I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying. That's something that I'm being told. I'm hearing Jay-Z. I can't remember the song, but I think it's called Family Feud, because he sings, what does he say? there's no something when the family feuds, or there's no happiness, there's no peace when the family feuds, something like that. I don't know, I just shared that. Pile number 2 could be a family situation for some of you. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. Upright or upside down? Upright, okay. 2 of Wands. Pile number 2. I keep, of course, Ariana Grande. I'm hearing the Ariana song. I don't really listen to this song, but I've heard the chorus. Better left unsaid. She literally says the lyrics, some things are better left unsaid. There's things you haven't said to each other that both of you, it's almost like you want to get out. Pile 2. A stubbornness coming from your person. Your person feels like a fixed energy, like a Taurus or a Scorpio or a Leo, or Aquarius. It almost feels like Aquarius or Taurus though. Pile 2, spirit guides. Want to bring closure. It's gonna take me a minute, I'm gonna say, to get into their energy, because they're not letting me get in because they're stubborn and prideful, but I will get in, even if I just have to ask my spirit guides stances. Pile number 2, what closure, spirit guides? What closure can we bring, pile 2? The minute I turn to my spirit guides, I'm like, right, spirit, you tell me, the cards pop out. What closure do we need to bring to pile 2? These cards are jumping out. I feel like you had an explosive row or argument, or, oh God, 3 of Pentacles. Was there someone else, pile 2? Did you catch them out doing something shady with somebody else? Queen of Swords. There was definitely an argument the last time you guys spoke. Definitely an argument. Okay. I'm being shown 2 people butting heads and saying I'm right. The other person's like, I'm right. There's a lot of butting heads here, and it's hard for me to get in this. Your person's very stubborn, so let me just like try and home in on the energies before I get in. Pile 2, your person has a bit of arrogance to them. A bit of arrogance. It's like I feel like to talk to them, they're not necessarily cocky. I don't even feel that they're that outgoing like that or in your face like that, but they just feel like know-it-alls in a way. Like, do you know, like a Matilda, when the dad's like, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm big, you're small, I can't remember the rest that he says, but like this person feels like that, whether it's a parent, family member, they feel like that. And what I'm being told about your person, pile 2, there's a lot of envy from your person, no matter what the situation, friendship, or even relationship, situationship, whatever the case, they envy you. And the reason that they envy you, whether you feel this way about yourself, pile 2, I'm getting into their secrets a little bit here, because I don't feel like they ever voice this at all, but I'm being told to say this to you. Whether you feel it or not, you come across to them as very confident and very sure of yourself. Very confident and very sure of yourself. Even if you don't feel that way, they think you come across that way. Maybe you're just very outgoing, or maybe you genuinely are full of love, full of self-love, very confident like that. You come across that way. You come across sure of yourself. I'm also being told you're very witty. You're very, I almost feel like you have passions and you know where you want to go. And your person that you're inquiring about is a little bit directionless. And this person's very inspired by you, pretty much in awe of you, it feels. However, they have a lot of love for you and they want to be in your life as well. However, because they're detached to that within themselves, there is envy there. And I'm even picking up like this is a relationship or a situationship you've had with like a partner or someone, and you would never think in a situation like that there would be envy, but this person does envy you because of it. And one thing I'm picking up about this person is they do feel a little bit directionless. Like they don't, it's like they want to maybe be rich, or they want to have a lot of money, or they want to look like they have like a high status or whatever, but they don't have a passion or a desire or anything like that to drive, like, or a drive, or maybe like a talent that they're aware of yet to bring that into fruition, or they don't maybe know how they want to dress or look yet, so they never feel confident. But whatever the case, they're very detached. They don't really know who they are. They're quite people-pleasy in a way, like show-offs in a way, trying to look like what other people would want them to look like. I hope this is making sense. I'm tapping into their energy, like their thought waves. And I feel like they're always, it's so hard being in their brain. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they are. Very disconnected to self. But then it's like, oh, people around me, they have this car, so I'm going to get this car. Or people around me have this, so I'm going to do this. People around me have a family, oh, I'm going to try and have a like, it's situations like that. They're trying to be what people around them would want them to have. Whereas when they're then trying to get those things, they're feeling unfulfilled because it's not their heart's desire, right? But then they're looking at you and they see you as very authentic. They see you as very passionate. I feel like you guys either have a project or something that you're focused on, that you drive towards, and it's triggering them, pal, too. It triggers them. It's just like you being authentic, you being open, you being just you and being connected to that, and you going against the grain, because I feel like you go against the grain. That to them, it makes them envious. And there's something about you, pal number 2. I don't know whether you've like passed a course or you've just really started to flourish and put boundaries in and know your worth and push that out, or whether you've like started a business and it's done good. But there's something about this person seeing it, and it's triggered them even more. It's made them more insecure within themselves, and it's made them more jealous and envious. And there's something about you learning who you are and being more open with who you are and shining that out. And the more you're doing it, the more this person's running away. They're becoming envious of you, pal, too. And I feel like, how can I put this into words? This person, when they're around you, they almost put up a front of what they think you'd like them to be. I can't even explain this person's feelings, pal, too. It's such an odd feeling. This person puts up a front of what you would want them to be, because like I said, this person people pleases. And then you're this very confident, flamboyant person who's very sure of themselves. So I feel like they try to portray to you that they're a very confident, flamboyant person that's very sure of themselves, when they're not really. And they hold that front. And I feel like, you know, like I was saying at the beginning of the reading, sorry guys if I'm finding it hard to read. This person's really hard to read, I have to be honest with you. You are very psychic and you see through them. They may even be aware that you are psychic if you do that for a living. And that scares them because you see through them. And you see like the real them. The person that's not, the person that is beneath that layer of trying to be what everyone wants them to be. And they don't like that. They feel vulnerable. So because they're feeling vulnerable and they're feeling backed into a corner, you're not doing anything. You're just seeing through them. And I feel like you may have mentioned things to them. And they're like, how would they know this? How would they know this? How would they know that I'm like this? What they do then is they're backed into a corner. So they're like puffing up their chest and taking on this very arrogant persona or this stubborn persona. And they're almost trying to make you, pal, to doubt what you may call them out on, or what you may say to them. Like, I'm being told, you saying, I know you've done this, or I feel like you've said this, or I feel like you've been talking to somebody else, or whatever. And they know that it's that you're calling them out on it, but it's like they're bending the truth and they're trying to make you question yourself, question your intuition. A little bit of gaslighting going on here, to be honest with you, because by doing that, it's pulling you out of your energy and you're not as confident then, and then they feel better about themselves. So there's like a power play going on in this situation, and there's a lot of like distortion and confusion that keeps you both then stuck in limbo. And then there's just two opposing sides like butting heads, and the truth of the situation is all distorted. I hope this is making sense, because this is confusing me a little bit, but I feel like you'll understand what I'm trying to say. But what I feel, pal number 2, is your person has built up a persona of what they want you to be. And they can't keep up with it anymore, because now that you're ascending and becoming more like yourself and pushing forward and shining out, it's getting too much for them. They can't keep up with it. And I almost feel like they've tried to kind of like shoot you down by making you question yourself, or trying to result to like childish things like maybe name calling or saying things to kind of pull you out of your energy or pull you out of your worth. I feel like that's what they've tried to do. And I feel like they've got themselves in a little bit of a pickle, pretending to be something that they're not. And I feel like their pride has gotten in the way, they're backed into a corner, and I feel like instead of admitting that they're wrong, or because I feel like you've called them out on something, instead of admitting that they're wrong, or admitting that they lied, or they bent the truth, or whatever, they don't want you to know how intuitive you are, or how good you are, or how spot on you were. So they're holding up this kind of like weight, or this barrier. It's so hard, guys. Get into their energy. They're holding up this barrier of I was right, even though they know that they were wrong. I don't know what this situation was. It feels like there was like an explosive argument or a situation in which you called them out on, and if it was a relationship, it could have been a third party situation. And I feel like you called them out on it, and I feel like they, instead of admitting and holding their hands up like I was wrong, I was the bad person, I'm sorry, it's like they're holding themselves up like you don't know the full story, you're wrong, you're jumping to conclusions. There's a little bit of like gaslighting when I feel like you were almost on the money, if that makes sense. I do feel like there was little things that you may not have known about, but at the same time they know that they did wrong, and there is guilt there, but they're not willing to like say that out loud. They want to see like there's a power play here, and they want to be the one in control. And this person may have ghosted you, and that was their way of taking back control, to ghost you. It was easier to shut you up or block you out or call you out of your own energy than to actually say that they were wrong, because that way they were still in their mind in the power, if that makes sense. I hope this is making sense. There's something about you calling out this person, and this person's very much stubborn and acting like they don't care. And let me say, this energy here, pile 2, this is a very complicated energy, and this person's very hard to read. But one thing I will say about your person, pile number 2, is as much as they say they don't care, I almost feel like you haven't spoken to this person in a while. They still think of this situation. This is still eating them up. They still think of you. They're still in awe of you. They're still looking at your social media. They're still pondering about you. They're still thinking about you. But this person's in a tangle. The reason I'm getting confused and I'm finding it hard to explain, because I'm trying to tap into their energy so you can understand from their point of view what's going on. This person's tangled up in a web right now in their life, it feels. Not just with this connection, but with many other connections, family situations, where they have tried to people please people and act like and be what other people want them to be. And I almost feel like they are stuck, like a spider web stuck in a situation that they don't want to be in, and that doesn't fulfill them and that doesn't make them happy. They don't know how to get out now. They've literally, because they wouldn't be true to themselves and they wouldn't listen to their heart and be vulnerable and, you know what I mean, get off that pedestal and let down their pride. They chose to, think of themselves, people please, choose status, choose money, choose what other people want them to see, choose their pride, choose their ego. And now they're stuck in a situation that do you know what I'm being shown? I don't know whether they're in another connection, but this connection feels like it's bleeding them dry, because I'm being shown a spider web. They keep being shown me a spider web. And you know, like when a fly goes into a spider web and it's stuck, and then what the spider does is obviously like drinks the blood of whatever insect or whatever's there. This person is the insect, and I feel like somebody's like bleeding them dry, like an energy vampire type of situation. So I don't know whether they're in a relationship with a narcissist, or they're just stuck in a situation like a job or a career, or just in their life things are just bleeding them dry right now because they were people pleasing. Whereas they're watching you, because there's something about you that you're flourishing in. They're watching you flourish, and they're like, there's envy. There is still envy, and there is a bitterness. I have to be honest with you, pile number 2. Like, there is a bitterness coming because this person is unhappy seeing you flourishing, and it's like they never wanted to admit that you were right. Had they let down their guard and admitted you were right and apologized, they could have even been with you. They could be in your life right now. But they didn't. They backed themselves up into a corner and puffed their chest out. And I feel like now they're watching you from afar, and it's making them feel bitter. And the more you're flourishing, the more you're aware. And the thing is, they seeing you do that, it's like, once again, that power play. They feel like you're more powerful than them and they don't like it. And it's making them feel bitter. It's making them feel jealous, envy. I'm hearing Nicki Minaj song Envy. It's making them envious while they're stuck. You know what I mean? Imagine being a fly stuck in a web and the spider's like sucking your blood and you see all your other flies running around, flying around, eating fruit. You would be a bit, you know, envious. And I feel like that's this person. There's always been a power play with this situation because this person's always seen you as above them, but they've tried to pull you beneath them to feel comfortable within themselves, whatever the connection was, just out of their own insecurities. And it may have worked in the past, but if there's something you've called them out on, they don't like it. It's almost like they feel in their mind like, oh, the audacity, they're getting too big for their boots, they're calling me out, they're putting a boundary, and how dare they? I need to like stand up and say that they're wrong. I need to put, it's almost like I need to put them in their place. I need to teach a lesson type of thing. But now it's like backfired. They're stuck and you're flourishing, and it's like, ugh. I hope this has made sense. I keep wondering if this is making sense because it's their mind, because I'm tapping into their mind now. It is confusing me, but Spirit's saying it will make sense to you guys, so I'm just going to trust that it will. Pile number 2. It's very hard. Like, when I sit in somebody's energy, it all flows out. Like, it just flows out. I can feel it. But sometimes if I can't relate to something, or somebody really can't even relate to themselves and doesn't even know themselves, it's like a whirlwind in my brain trying to understand it. And it's very hard for me to push in, especially when they're stubborn. Like, it's really hard for me to get into that and actually word it. Because stubbornness and all of that, it comes from the ego, not the emotional body. And one thing that I read very well is the emotional body. So when I'm tapping into someone's ego, it's like sandpaper. It's literally like that. It's very hard to get out. So I hope I made that make sense for you. But this person is a lot of envious. And there's a lot of envy from them to you. I feel like this person tries to use power play. There's a bit of narcissism with this person. But I feel like they've got caught up in their own game. Something's bleeding them dry. And I don't know whether somebody's taking their money, or somebody's just like taking their emotions, or just like they're drained. It feels like someone, whether it's a friend or a relationship that they're in, someone is bleeding somebody dry. And they have resentment to the person that they're with too. Because the fly doesn't like the spider that's killing it. You know, you wouldn't like the spider that's like killing you. And there's almost resentment there too. Pile. It's almost like if this was a relationship, this other person came to them with an apple, but it was like Snow White, and the person was like an old witch and was like, here, bite the apple, and then they bit the apple, but really it wasn't an old lady, it was the evil queen. Like, that's how it feels. This person at least feels that way. This person almost feels like they're a victim. This person feels like they're Snow White and they just bit the apple, and now they're, you know, laying with the flowers in their hand waiting for somebody to come kiss them and help them. I don't know why I used that analogy, but that just came to me. There's a bit of victim mentality from this person. I keep hearing this person say, I'm never wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. But it's like it's a projection. They know that they're in the wrong, but they're trying to make you, you know. Yeah, I hope I'm making sense. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What closure can we give pile number 2? I want to say from me to you, and this is a bit of closure that I just want to say, everything that you were sussing out about this person was pretty much spot on. I think that's why at the beginning they wanted me to emphasize how strong your psychic abilities are, or how strong your intuition is. And when you are shown symbols or thoughts or energies like that, it's spirit warning you. And I feel like you tapped into it, to be honest with you, because this person's mad that they got caught out with something, right? And I think that the closure that you need to hear before I even pull the other cards is keep shining. Keep shining and keep being you. Do not let someone bring you off that pedestal, because I feel like you've jumped down off your pedestal in the past for this person. And they like that. You know what I mean? I feel like you took your shine and your light and poured it into this person, and it gave them a confidence boost. It gave them a, you know, it made them feel good. and there's something where you withheld and you're like, hang on a minute, no, they don't like it. And the more you shine, they're not going to like it, but hopefully it will trigger them enough to ascend themselves. You know what I mean? And I'm being told that this person will be back around. This person will be back around. When they break free of that web, they're going to be back around. Because there's almost this feeling like I want to live with this person back again. And I don't mean that manipulative, like I want to live with this person back, because it's weird, because like they like you. They're very drawn to you. They think you're like great. Do you know how they feel about you, pal number 2? And I want to say this just so you can hear this, because I don't feel they would ever say it. I'm literally being shown like somebody on a stage, you know, like, I don't know what era this was. Was it like 1920s or 1930s? 20s, I think it was. They're like girls on the stage, they're like flapper dresses, and they would like dance and stuff. They're making me show whether you're male or female, like that's you dancing on the stage. They're in the audience with popcorn, like mesmerized. That's how they feel about you, pal, too. And they would never say that for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't even feel like this person gave you many compliments, or if they did, they were very shallow compliments. This person feels that way about you in every way, spiritually, physically, emotionally. They will not admit it because it's the power thing. I feel like they breadcrumbed you, pal, too. I feel like they gave you little breadcrumbs and withheld their feelings, even though they had a lot of feelings. And there's a lot of lusty feelings if this was our relationship. But they would never say that. They never wanted to give you more shine than they felt you already had within you anyway. Is what I'm being told. So out of like, almost like a childlike spite in a way, that childlike envy, it was like, I'm going to do the power play and I'm going to breadcrumb and I'm going to do these things. But really, that's what they see. They see you as the sun. They literally see you as the sun, very warm, and you're very connected to your emotions, and they're not, and they don't like that. It's almost like how you do things and they're like, how are they doing that? How are they confident enough to wear that or do that or say that or be that? How do they do that? Because this person's so disconnected to that within themselves. Oh my God, look at that. I was saying the sun is ruled by Leo. We literally have the lion and we have waking the lion. You know what it is? You've always shined like this, pal, too. You have always shined like this, but I feel like at some point in your life, pal, too, I love how we have 9-1, 5th house, ruled by Leo as well. You didn't see that in yourself sometimes. And I feel like when this connection first commenced, I don't feel like you saw all of this in yourself. You didn't. You really, I don't feel like you did. And I feel like this person benefited from you not seeing this within you. They saw it within you, but they knew that you might not have seen it as strongly, so they benefited from that. But as you've grown and evolved, you've seen the beauty that you are. You've seen the strength that you are. You've seen how powerful you are. Right? And what I'm being told is, sorry guys, I've now realized that's a 9 and a 1. That's not 5. I literally now realized that. I was staring and I was like, 9, 10, wait, that's wrong. That's wrong. So never mind. Forget what I said about the 5th house, Leo. But this is Leo because it's a lion anyway. But what I'm being told is you've always had that. And I feel like this person trying to do that power play, I feel like it triggered in you the need to stand up for yourself, the need to put your foot down, the need to actually roar and let that roar out. And I feel like you've done that. I feel like this person's brought that out of you, and now there's no stopping you. And I feel like you are just shining, shining, shining now. Like that song, you know, the Beyonce song with Jay-Z and DJ Khaled, Shining. I'm hearing that for you guys. I feel like you're shining and you're on a roll almost. And this person's like, damn. And I feel like they're pondering, like, how would I get this person back in the palm of my hands? And do you want to know what, pal, too? I don't think this person is going to get you back in the palm of their hands. And I feel like you're going to keep shining, and I feel like they're going to come around, and I feel like they're going to be very butthurt when you don't even give them the time of day. Because I do feel, pal number 2, clicking on this video, you are done with this person. It does feel like that. You do feel like you're done. I do feel there's emotions there because you have a very big heart. I don't think you like the thought of them being stuck in a situation, but it's not your situation to heal, and I feel like you are aware of that. I feel like I'm tapping into someone who knows who they are now. That's why there's envy here. You found your voice, you found your raw, you know? And because of that, I feel like it's just triggering more insecurities within this person. And the back of the deck, we have tender embrace. And it's funny because there's so much ego involved with this person, but yet, and do you remember I was saying at the beginning, button heads? Sorry, that just like reminded me of like the button heads. There's so much ego involved with this person that's caused you to argue and cause the button of heads and cause this power play. Whereas they are very connected to you on a hearty level. The reason that you were drawn to each other is because you do have soul ties. You are connected on a soul level. It is a hearty energy. I feel like your hearts resonate at the same frequency, but they choose to follow their ego and not balance it out and be in their pride defensive state, you know? And because of that, it's caused this imbalance. I feel like you move with your heart, which they benefited from, but I don't feel that they move with their heart in this lifetime, or at least for now, pal, too. But when they're drawn to you and they think of you, they think of how like sweet you are and how nice you are and how nurturing you are. And because of that, it's like they want to be around you for that. And they know you're a good person as well. And I think that's something, because they're not in tune with themselves and they can be quite selfish. I feel like they have treated people bad in the past. And I feel like they project things that they've done that they know were wrong onto other people, that the other person's the bad person. And I feel like they've tried to do that with you in the power play situation of like, you're the bad person. You're the bad person, but it's them projecting out, you know? I find that a lot, like when people are really insecure of things that they've done, they'll try and project. And I feel like that's what this person does. You're the bad person. You did wrong. You're always wrong. I'm good. You're the narcissist. You're the bad person. And it's just like, are you convincing me or yourself? You know what I mean? Like, that's how it feels. This person does not want to do any inner reflection at all. And I feel like you embody inner reflection. I feel like that's you. Another thing I want to say really quickly, I don't know whether you, like, this person feels like they either grew up with money, or they grew up like quite privileged or wrapped up in cotton wool, or they had an easy time of it, like things came to them easily. Whereas I feel like this person knows that you've struggled, whether it's like, again, like insecurities or financially, or there's something like that, or you've gone and taken on a job or created a project or become successful doing something that you may have had to struggle with at the beginning. It didn't seem like it was going to blow up. And if there's an irritation of this person, like, how have they come from that and they've got to that and they're flourishing? Like how did they do that? How did they have that courage? How did they have that confidence? Like, you literally have so much courage and confidence within you that, again, you didn't even see within yourself in the beginning. Now you're starting to. And they are like, how do they do that? How are they happy shining like that? Like, how were they never, you know, insecure? Or how were they, that's how they feel. Like, how were they never insecure about, you know, not having the money to do this before and blah, blah, blah. Like, how did they make those courageous leaps? There's a lot of like, how, and it creates envy for them because they don't have it. But it's because they've been wrapped up in cotton wool that they don't have it. They haven't had to have that drive because they've had things done for them, or people do for them. Or I do feel like they grew up with like a lot of siblings that like were the opposite sex, and they were the, you know, like they could have been the boy around loads of girls, or they could have been the girl around a lot of boys, because it feels like that, because it's like they're very mollycoddled, they're very like they don't have to worry about consequences, they don't have to think of other people, they almost feel like the baby of the siblings, or like the odd one out that's like praised for doing the bare minimum. They feel like that type of person. They have a lot of growing up to do, is the message from my spirit guide, saying like they have a lot of growing up to do. Ooh. We have nothing is yet set in stone. This person does have the ability to change within them, and I don't feel like this person is all around a bad person, I have to say. Very stubborn. I feel like they're their own worst enemy. I really do. And this person does have the ability to change within them. Do I see them changing energetically? To be honest with you, it's 50-50. I'm not really getting anything. It's kind of like, it's up to them. But I almost feel like they're coming towards a time in their life, like an energy shift in their life, where they could make the decision to evolve, change, or do some inner work. But it depends if this person decides to choose their ego or their pride again. And it's very, like, the way Spirit is showing me is scales. There's no, it's not weighing either way. It's very balanced right now. We don't know which way it's going to go. It's up to this person's free will as to if they're going to evolve and do some inner work. But either way, you're going to hear from them. I don't think it's going to be a grand gesture. I don't think there's going to be much of an apology. It could be an apology, but a very weak one. I don't think they'd acknowledge their wrongs, to be honest with you. Because there's still a feeling of wanting to be in control. I almost feel like in their life, there is a shift happening and everything is up in the air right now. And I almost feel like there's a kind of waiting for the ball to drop. Like their spirit guides are around them, waiting for them to make a decision as to what they want to do. So I don't know whether that's a decision like, I'm going to leave this person that I'm with that's sucking me dry, or I'm going to leave this job, or I'm finally going to go like to therapy and do some inner work, or I'm just going to do shadow work. I don't feel that they know what that is, but there's something about the spirit guides waiting for a ball to drop with them, or waiting for them to make a decision out of their free will of what they're going to do. Are we going to keep going around in this circle? Are we going to stay put? Or are we going to evolve? What are we going to do? And there's something about waiting in the wings with them right now, pal, too, that I'm tapping in. If you're curious if they're going to do any leveling up anytime soon. If they choose to level up, you will have an apology from them, a more sincere apology. But I really do feel, pal, too, if they do choose to level up, it'll be a little while longer before you hear from them. Because I feel like they may even go into seclusion a little bit and lick their wounds. But you will get a more sincere apology, but it'll be more so in the future. Whereas if they choose to stay put, I do see things breaking around them anyway. Just the universe moving, you know, the wheel. However, you will still hear from them, but it will be it just feels like a quick, it could even be like they wouldn't even acknowledge it. They may like follow you on Instagram or send you a request on Facebook or something like that. Maybe give you a little poke on Facebook, like something little like that, where they want to initiate contact, but they don't want to be the one to do it because they're still in their pride. Either way, you'll hear from them. But they're not giving me, I have to be honest with you, they're not giving me like a standard, like what they're going to do. It's like I'm waiting for a ball to drop. I'm waiting for the ball to drop and them to make the decision out of their own free will. It's like the spirit guides are waiting as well. So I can't give you a thing like in regards to future. It's very, this person's a law unto themselves, Spirit said. But I hope this gives you closure as to how this person moves. Let me look at the back of the deck quickly. I'm being told to look at the back of the deck. Don't let your past hold you back. Yeah, Spirit's calling you to just like push forward and keep shining. That's what you're here to do. That's what you're supposed to do. Keep shining, keep moving forward, keep working on yourself, keep, you know, being that abundant light that you are, and realizing that. It's funny you chose the sunstone, which is the solar plexus energy. But I hope this is giving you closure into not only second guessing yourself when your psychic abilities are on point, but I also hope that it's giving you closure as to how this person moves and why this person chose to do what they want to do. Because if this person confused me and I was sitting in their energy, this person probably very much confused you. And even though I do feel like you are psychic as F, I do feel like they try to play manipulative mind games in ways to have you off the mark or off the scent. And I hope I was able to bring you clarity about this person. In regards to, I do want to say very quickly, because I'm being told to, in regards to this other connection, I hope you don't ever think that that person was like better than you in any way. The reason this person went to that person, I almost feel like this person went to that person because you were unavailable, in the sense of you put in a boundary or you told them to step up and they were like, next option. I don't want to do that inner work, and I don't want to do what they're saying. I don't want to back down. So next option, where am I going to go? And I feel like the person that they went to, unfortunately, was just like that next option that they had. Maybe whether it was like on the side or whether it was just like they were in the wings. Because again, they're showing me like an apple. I feel like this person may have been buzzing around them like a fly, like, hey. And then this person was like, well, they're not going to, you know, they're putting in boundaries and they don't want to be with me, so I'm just going to go to this other person, see how they like it. But now they're stuck in the web. I feel like that's what happened, pal, too, in regards to that situation. And I hope that brings you clarity on it. But keep putting in boundaries, keep shining that light, because I feel like, pal, too, I want to say, and Spirit's coming through to say you're on the right track. This person has backed themselves into a corner and it's their own doing, not yours. And that's something that they've got to work out themselves. You keep shining. You know your worth now. Look at this card. I just want to hold this up before we go. I feel like you're wise to this situation now, pal, too. I feel like it's triggered something within you to really stand up for yourself and protect yourself. And be fierce, you know. I feel like it's done that. And I feel like that's what it was supposed to do. Keep shining, pal 2. That's the message for you guys. So I really hope that this brought you clarity. I hope that this brought you any sort of closure. I'm sending you guys all of my love. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if this resonated. I hope this made sense for you and it landed well for you. As you know, this person is a little bit complicated, but we got there in the end. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 3, welcome to your reading. So we are currently taking a look at the current situation that you are thinking about, and we are going to be helping you guys find clarity in the situation and help you guys find any closure in that situation to help you heal. So I do want to say trigger warning, it may get a little bit heavy, but we're going to get straight in and we're going to take a look into this connection and see what we can do here. So you guys chose the jade crystal. And straight away, you know, the jade crystal, it connects us to the heart chakra. And straight away, I feel like I want to hold it. So you guys may benefit from getting a jade crystal yourself. But I'm being told that, you know what it is? I want to grab you all and give you a big hug, because there's almost like a milestone that you guys have reached. Pile 3, before I even get into this reading, this is a message from your spirit guides, and it'll hit who it needs to hit. But I feel like you've been doing a lot of purging or inner work in regards to your heart chakra. And it's funny because when there's purging going on or there's a big like release going on, I almost feel this like weight in the heart chakra, and it's almost like a bit of anxiety. It's pouring out. But what I'm actually being shown about your heart chakra, pal number 3, it's like being bandaged up. Like you've purged, you've balanced it out, and it's healing. Like your heart chakra is healing, it's becoming balanced, and you're moving into a new phase. Play me the Nina Simone song, Feeling Good. You're moving into a new phase where things are a lot more balanced, and the weight of your past and past connections and past matters of the heart, they're not holding you back anymore. And there's clapping going on in the higher realms saying like, well done, kid. Like, you did good, kid. Like, there's that message coming through, pal 3, for you guys. Like, you've really done well in purging. Like, I almost feel like I want to cry because it's like a triumph. And there's a lot of pride in your spirit team, you know, in your circle, in your spirit team. There's a lot of pride. Because I don't feel like it's been easy, pal 3. It never is with the heart chakra, because the heart chakra really connects us to the universe and the God source. So when that's imbalanced and we're doing purging, that is usually the chakra that really hurts the most when we're purging, I find, and when I'm healing or whatever, I find that. And yeah, your heart, it's almost like there's a homecoming of the heart coming back for you, pal 3. But I want to look at what this is going on with this connection. What do you need closure for in regards? You're asking about a connection that you're not even so much emotionally connected to anymore. However, there's little bits of debris or remnants, and it's not even for like the because we have different bodies. We have the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, the spiritual body. It's not so much for the spiritual or the emotional body. It's more to this reading is more to put your mind at rest. Because I feel like you've done that inner work. I feel like you've done all of that emotional work. I feel like you've cut ties. I feel like you've learned lessons. There's something that you need to put your mind to rest with. That's what it is, pal 3. And we're here to do that today. We'll see what we can do. But there's someone that, a little bit of like what if energy, or just like there's something you need to know about the situation, or there's something you want to put your mind to rest about. We're going to get into that. It does feel like a relationship-y situationship connection, but it could be friendship or family. But for this one, I'm strongly picking up, it more so feels like situationship, or a connection that had a false start or broke down. But we'll get in. So pal number 3, I feel like you've really grown up over the last 2 years, I'm being told. Really grown up emotionally. Pal 3, spirit guides, what closure do pal number 3 need about this connection? What closure do pal number 3 need about this connection? We got the Knight of Cups. What closure do pal number 3 need about the connection they're asking about? What closure do pal number 3 need? There's so much pride, pal 3. There is so much pride coming from your spirit guides to you. Like there's a gentleman stood behind it. They're using like the collective of you guys as just like an energy, like an aura, a very purpley aura you have, and there's a gentleman standing behind patting you on the back, like well done, you know, very paternal. Feels more like a spirit guide, but it could be an ancestor patting you on the back. Like as I'm asking the questions, there's just a lot of celebration and happiness around you, and pride, and just clapping and patting on the back, and like well done. Like I could feel it. It's very strong. Pile number 3, you've just reached a milestone, they're telling me. Pile number 3, what closure does pile number 3 need? What closure does pile number 3 need? Okay, what closure does pile number 3 need? 8 of Cups. What closure does pile number 3 need? What closure does pile number 3 need? Queen of Cups. Okay, we have the Strength card at the back of the deck. Okay, so they're telling me to say, like, I feel like you're very aware that the connection that you were asking about, when you were involved in this connection, it was an imbalanced connection. And they're telling me that you're aware of this. They're telling me that you're aware that you were someone that gave a lot, and this person took. And when you decided to withdraw your energy, this person would then come chasing it. There was a runner-chaser dynamic in this situation that you are aware of. This isn't anything new that I'm telling you. And when I feel like you last spoke to this person, whoever it was, when you last spoke to this person, I feel like this person may have cut you off very quickly or ghosted you, ran away, it feels. The reason that they ran away, the reason that they walked away, and again, some of you guys already know this, they were avoiding responsibility. Because for a connection to become balanced and for a connection to flourish, there needs to be a letdown of the guards, and there needs to be 2 people committed to doing inner work. And one thing about you, pile number 3, as we have seen and as we've just been congratulating you with, you know how to do inner work, and you do inner work. And you have been, there would have been a moment in time where you chose to like level up or learn to love yourself, or just like put in effort within yourself and understand your wounds and work through them. Like we said, there's a lot of that you've been doing. You've been growing up. And when you started to do that, and you started to love yourself, or you started to work on yourself or whatever, it then created another imbalance in this situation, because I feel like there was a bit of a power play in this situation, a little bit like pile 2, there was a power play, but it was a runner chaser situation. And before you were like learning to love yourself, or you were putting that effort towards yourself, a lot of your energy was on this person, and this person liked it that way, because this person didn't have to do much and you were doing all of the work. But as you've chosen to pour that in yourself, and you've chosen to ascend, that light is taken off of this person, and I feel like this person didn't quite like it, and this person was trying to reel you back in. And I don't feel like this person's a bad person. It was a runner chaser dynamic, right? But this person didn't want to do the inner work. This person was fine going around in a little fish pond, whereas you were choosing to ascend. I feel like you were choosing to grow up. It feels you were going then to go swim with the sharks, and I feel like this person was still choosing to swim in the pond. So while you're swimming in with the sharks, this person's like, wait, where is this person going? And I feel like this person was trying to lure you back into the pond to keep going around in circles. And I feel like you either called this person out, you put in a boundary, or you sat on your pedestal and you said, I'm staying here, you can come up, or we'll just leave it there. There's something about that where you were very firm in your energy, maybe for the first time, and you either put in a boundary, or you were like, I'm moving up, I'm leveling up, and this is what I want to do. And I feel like this person didn't have it in them to do that. This person enjoyed maybe you chasing them, or them being able to lay back. This person didn't like that. And something happened. I almost feel like this person wasn't honoring you in the way that they should have. It's almost like they were looking at you almost in like an ideal way. They were daydreaming about you a lot. There was a lot of fantasy there. and they liked that you would like big up their ego and things like that. And I feel like they wanted to be with you, but they didn't want to actually like get off the couch and actually do the work. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you started to level up, it was like, oh my God, this, like, oh my God, like I want to be with this person, and I'm comfortable in the way that it is. And this person's now growing up and doing better for themselves and wanting better for themselves. And now that they're doing that, they're starting to call me out on things that I'm not willing to do or change. And because of that, I'm getting insecure, I'm getting my back up, I'm getting defensive. And I feel like it was something that you called this person out on, that they ran away. They didn't want to take accountability for it. They ran away, and I feel like they ghosted you. And I feel like their reason of ghosting you was trying to take the power back, it feels. They thought that ghosting you, it would create that runner-chaser dynamic and you would run after them. Sorry for shaking the thing, guys. Because you were in this queen energy, standing in your power, this strength energy. And they were like, if I ghost or if I walk away or if I cut this person off, it's going to create this power dynamic and this person's going to run after me, and then the dynamic's going to be back. Everything will go back to the way that I like it because it's comfortable for me. That's what I feel happened. And this is where we are today, where you've done the inner work, you've continued to ascend, you've continued to be in your queen energy. I feel like this person's exactly where you left them, pal 3. I don't feel this person's done any inner work. I feel like this person's still here. The Knight of Cups. If you're a queen, you don't want the Knight of Cups, you want the King of Cups. If you've got all this emotional depth and all of this passion like the Queen of Wands, you don't want the Knight of Cups or the Knight of Wands. You want the King of Wands and the King of Cups. And this person's still here with their little cup going, well, this is all I have to offer you. And I think for you guys, it's not so much that there's an emotional connection here, but I feel like you guys want to know out of closure why this person stepped away, why this person did what they did. They saw you leveling up. They saw you choosing yourself. They saw you doing better for yourself. That energy was no longer going into them. It was going on you to make you into this strength energy. They didn't like it. And they thought that if they were to cut you off or walk away or, push away, it would create that dynamic again where they were more in control and you wouldn't be in this energy because you'd have to come off your pedestal. And to be honest with you, I don't feel like you did that. I feel like you've been doing inner work, or maybe this triggered you into doing even more in-depth inner work. But either way, you're still this queen energy. You're in that energy. And if you want to know if this person's going to come back around, yes, this person's going to come back around. But I think it's very clear to say this person's going to come back around with like the Knight of Cups again. This person's going to come in maybe saying a lot, but they're not actually going to do a lot. They're going to try and get you off this pedestal again. I feel like you've moved on emotionally, but this person is going to try and come back. Does this person still like you? Yes. Does this person see you on that pedestal? Does this person have a lot of love for you? Does this person want to be with you? There's a lot of yeses here, but do they want to do the inner work? Do they want to step up? Do they want to understand themselves on a deeper level so that they could get to the depths that you are at? They don't want to do that. They feel very stuck in the mud. They feel very stuck where they are. They're comfortable. And they're looking for connections that feed them. But what I'm seeing is a table turning. I'm shocked the Wheel of Fortune didn't come out. What I'm seeing is a table turning. And Jar was saying about that runner-chaser dynamic. I almost feel like you're the runner now and they're the chaser. And I don't mean you're running away from this connection, but you know your worth. And you can see that they're not bringing much to the table and you're not interested anymore. They are aware of that. They are aware that you're in that energy. And when they're coming back, they're really going to be trying to get a seat at that table. They're really going to be trying to eat all the foods that you've got at that table. And it's going to create this runner-chaser thing where they're going to be trying to get your attention. They're going to be trying to woo you. I feel like they're going to come back and they're going to try anything that they can to try and woo you or bring you back. And there's a message from Spirit for you to stay on your pedestal and stay in your queen energy. If you hear scratching, that's my cat, guys. Don't ever doubt for 1 second that they don't like you or that they didn't like you or anything like that. This person has strong feelings for you, strong sexual feelings for you, wants you in their life, loves having you around. But one thing that they love about you is how nurturing you are, how healing you are. And it's like, when you're around, it's like you do the work for them. They don't have to learn to be secure within themselves because you're bigging them up. You know what I mean? And you're giving them that ego boost. Like anyone would in it, like a connection or anything like that. But the difference is they're not doing that for you. You know what I mean? And then there's this drained energy and there's this imbalance. When you're around, you're helping heal them just by being you. So they don't have to do any healing work. You know what I mean? Whereas now that you're putting that on you, it's like, oh God, now I've got to step up and I don't know how to be on that level that they are at. And it's creating this power play. And I tap in emotionally, and I do feel like emotionally you have stepped out of this situation, to be honest with you. I feel like you're aware that they couldn't give you what you deserve. I feel like you're aware that they're very much like half-assed. While you're here as the Queen of Cups. They see you as a lightning in a bottle. And they want you to like ignite them. But I just see you guys like, no, no, no. And I think that the thing here is, do they still like me or will they come back around? And the answer is yes. Yes, they will. But this person's just not changing. This person's just going around in circles in this pond. And now that you've taken yourself out of that pond, they don't know what to do. Because they're still going around in this pond, just maybe with other people. And they're going to make their way back to you. Or they're going to try and make their way back to you. This person sees you as this strength card. This person sees you as a bright light. This person sees you as very confident. This person sees you as very passionate. This person sees you as someone that just pours into them. And they love that. But it's because then they don't have to do that work. And I feel like you've learned that. You've learned that they were just taken. And this person sees a lot of themselves in you. But I'm going to pull some more, like some oracle cards, but there's not much more like deeper to say other than this person's going to come back around. This person is still stuck going around in circles in this pond, pile 3. They don't want to swim with the sharks. And the thing is you've up-leveled, you've turned into a shark. And they're a little tadpole. And I'm not saying you're better than them. But this was a runner-chaser situation. And you are now balanced. You've taken yourself off the weighing scale. You are now balanced. And now they're like, oh, I want to bring them back. I want this, you know, I want them to chase me again. I don't see you doing it, pile 3. Let me grab that card. Great big love. That's what we have. Great big love. That's you guys with your beautiful big heart. And the thing is, you know, like I said, there's bandages there, like at the moment, because you guys have been healing. You used to overcompensate and give a lot. You used to give a lot. And they love that. And the minute you started slowly taking that off them and putting that into you, they didn't like it. And I feel, do you know what it is? I feel like they were trying then even harder. And I feel like they did start to put in a little bit of effort, or they did try to bring you, you know, they did try to step up a little bit. But again, I'm being told it was words. They weren't doing any actions. Because they knew they couldn't stand next to you like that. You have a lot of depth, and they knew that they didn't have that within them, or they didn't want to open up to that within them. And there was just a lot of words to keep you there. And I feel the more you were peeling off them and giving it to yourself, they were, you know, creating tactics to bring you, keep you in their life, to anchor you back into their life. Because they enjoyed that energy. And we have a merry motive at the back of the deck. It's like, I know this person's starting to see their worth. I know this person's starting to love themselves. This person's starting to take their energy off me and onto something else, onto themselves. What can I do? What can I do to bring them back? I like this person. I want them in my life, but I have there's a lot of selfishness here. It's like I have no intention of wanting to settle down or wanting anything that deep, but I don't want them to go. It's like they wanted their cake, and they wanted to have their cake and eat it too, is what they wanted to do. And they knew they couldn't quite stand next to you like that. So it was like, what can I do to anchor them back to me? What can I say that'll keep them with me? And I feel like in the end, you were just like, right, you're literally not giving me enough. Or you put in a boundary, you said, you can't do this if you want to be with me. And instead of, you know, maybe they even did wrong, or maybe they were talking to somebody else, or they did something disrespectful. But instead of putting their hands up, I feel like they ran away. Because this person likes to avoid responsibility. They run away. They ghost, they run away. And I feel like that's what this person did. And it was like, if I ghost, they'll chase me.
If I walk away, they'll chase me. But it's funny, it's like they're walking away like, yeah, chase me. You're just sat here like the Queen of Wands, like, go on, go. I got healing to do anyway, so you just go. And I feel like now you're here as this Queen of Cups with this big, you know, chasm waiting for your King of Cups, and they're going to try and come back. They're going to try and come back. I feel, pal. I think that's what you wanted to know. Is this person going to try and come back? The answer is yes. This person still sees you as this Queen of Wands. This person has a lot of passion towards you. You know, oh my God, you know, like Suicide Squad, and the Joker says about Harley Quinn, he's like, she's the fire in my loins. Like, they feel that way about you. They feel very passionate and drawn towards you, and like very lusty towards you, to be honest with you. And there's a lot of fantasy. They think about you like that. There's a lot of fantasy. They just don't want to step up to the plate. They like it when you do. But I'm hearing the Jennifer Lopez song, Ain't Your Mama. They wanted you to carry them, and I feel like you were like, no, I'm not carrying you. I'm hearing the Drake and Rihanna song, Too Good. The lyrics literally are, I'm way too good for you. You take my love for granted. I just don't understand it. That's the lyrics, if you want to listen to that. But this person's going to realize what they've lost when it's too late. I feel like you're going to be in like another relationship, and that's when they're going to be like, oh, wow, I really want to level up now that this person's with someone else. And it's like, well, it's too late. I feel like it's too late now. I feel like you've moved on. I feel like you know who you are. You're not settling for little cups anymore. Not when you've got this big old, you know, chasm. Pile number 3. What closure do we need to bring pile number 3? I feel like there was just like a little inkling in your mind of like, does this person still like me? What was the reason that they actually did walk away? Is this person going to be back? There's not too much like emotional oomph here from you to them. It's more like a curiosity of, yes, this person still thoroughly likes you a lot. This is why they keep coming back. This person does want you back. This person did want something with you. They were avoiding responsibility. They didn't want to level up. They feel like they feel like they've gone away, waited for it to all blow over, and then they'd come back. That was their idea. That was what they wanted to do. Wait for it to all blow over, and then I'll come back in a couple of months. It may have taken a little while longer. It could have even been a year now, because there's something about a delay. But yeah, we have you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. You're very protective over yourself now, pal. Pile 3 with the crab here. I feel like you've created a shell around yourself, and I don't mean in a negative way. I feel it's in a balanced way. It's boundaries. These boundaries protected you from this person giving you half-assed efforts, and I feel like you have that shell around you. Like, I will come out when I feel safe, or when someone shows me why I should come out. It's that type of energy, and I don't mean it like you're hiding away. You've just learned to balance in the boundaries, and you've learned that sometimes people just say things and you need actions as well. You know exactly who you are with a strength card. Pile 3. And I do want to say, behind the strength card was the 3 of Pentacles. So this person could have jumped to another connection. It was just a connection where the person carried them, pile 3. They wanted someone to carry them. That's literally what it was. This person just tries to put plasters over a hole, if that makes sense. They tried to put a band-aid over the hole to try and, you know, smooth it over instead of doing that work in themselves. But I feel like this connection's always been runner chaser. When one didn't want the other one wanted the other, and it was like a back and forth. And now you're like, done, I've leveled up, you do that, or bye. The back of the deck, we have bring love into the situation. I feel like that's what you guys have been doing, bringing love into your situation in regards to you. I feel like you've been learning to love yourself and feel full. You know what I mean? We have the new moon in Aquarius. I feel like you've been learning to reach that fullness within yourself and not need their validation, or not need to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, you've learned that you validate yourself. You know what I mean? I feel like this person and their back and forth played with your insecurities and stuff, but now you're this strength energy. You know what I mean? You don't let anyone take you off that pedestal or take you out of that energy. They don't like it. So expect this person to come back around. Pile 3. I don't feel that they would have changed. Remember, energies can change, but as I'm picking up right now, I don't feel like this person's would have changed. Does this person really like you? Yeah. Are you like a person that like they think about quite often? Yes. Are you somebody that they daydream about and stuff? Do they think about you at night? Yes. I'm picking up all of this. But it's like, they want an imbalanced connection. They want to be laying back while you do the work. And you're not there anymore. You know what I mean? I just feel like you're not there anymore. And they're like, how do I talk a good game, bring this person back? But the more you stay on that pedestal, the more desirable it is, because it's creating then like they're chasing you. That's what I'm being shown, pile 3. But I see you moving on. I see another connection for you, pile 3. I don't know why I'm being shown Pisces and Aries. They could be like a Pisces or Aries, or have those energies in their charts. I see another connection for you. A more balanced connection. Somebody that's pouring into you the way that you do them. And I feel it's actually quite close, pile 3. I don't feel, because I was picking up for one of the other pals. I think it was pile 1. I felt someone coming in for them, but it wasn't imminent. It was like over the next year. But for you guys, it's like imminent. It feels soon. It feels like you could already know them and it's developing. Or it's just very soon, because you're in this fresh state. You're in this kind of spring state. And I feel someone's coming in. Like around the corner. I'm literally showing somebody standing there and then looking behind them and someone's there. And it's 3:33 on the clock. If you guys have been seeing 3:33, this is your reading. And take, well, it's now turned to 3:34. But that was, I'm going to take that as a confirmation that someone's coming in for a lot of you, pile 3, because I see newness. You're in this new stage. I feel like this was just curiosity. Like, what's this person up to? That's what I'm picking up. So that's all I had for you, pal number 3. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if this resonated. I hope this brought any clarity or closure for you. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 4, welcome to your reading. So we are currently taking a look at your current situation, your current connection, the person that you have in mind, and we are going to be helping you guys find some clarity, find some closure on that situation. Remember, trigger warning, this may get a little bit heavy, and remember, these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So you guys chose the Ocean Jasper. I'm going to pop that by here, but picking up the Ocean Jasper, I just got shown in my mind's eye the 2 fish for Pisces. So some of you guys may have a lot of Pisces energy in your chart, and you may have a lot of 12th house placements in your chart. That's what I'm picking up. Strong Pisces energy from you guys. One thing I want to say about you guys as well, like when you love hard, and I feel like when you bring someone into your life, it's like family. Like you don't just bring someone into your life randomly, and I feel like the people that you bring into your life, there's such a love for them, like an unconditional love. May have like Venus in Pisces, to be honest with you. There's such like an unconditional love there, and it's hard for you guys, pal 4, sometimes to let go or move on. Yeah, I am picking that up from some of you guys. Let's get in though. What closure do pile number 4 need? What closure do pile number 4 need in regards to this situation, spirit guides? What closure? For some of you guys, you're asking about somebody that may have passed away, because I'm hearing the Beyonce song Other Side, and she's basically singing about like she sings I will see you on the other side, like I will wait for you on the other side, in the sense of the person's passed on, and she's basically saying like we're not far apart, we're always still connected, and I'll see you when I'm on the other side with you. And whether this is just like somebody that would have passed away, or whether this is somebody that was in your life and it's like a bittersweet situation, maybe you had to walk away from them, because for a lot of you guys, it's not really coming up as a relationship, it's coming up as like maybe a friendship or a family member that maybe you've had to cut off, maybe you've had to put in a boundary, maybe you've had to step away, or maybe you've had to travel and move somewhere else. So there's like growing pains, because that's what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling some growing pains, or maybe you've grown out of a connection. One's going one way and one's going the other way. Either way, there's a strong message that wants to get through for you guys, pile number 4, about this connection, that souls choose to spend time with each other in this lifetime for whatever reason, and sometimes those souls will stay, and sometimes those souls will choose to go on another journey, but we're still interconnected by the memories that we've created, and the connections that we've had together. And when we ascend from earth, when we move on from earth, when we pass on, we are all then together, because when we're choosing to have, especially like an intimate connection with somebody in this lifetime, they're usually a soulmate. So when we're passing on and we're moving on to another dimension, we're then with them again. We're then connected with them again. And sometimes in life, we may choose to ascend and level up and move on, whereas the other person doesn't. And we're not supposed to wait for them. And just because that person isn't in our life anymore, it doesn't mean they're never going to be in our life again. Because when we ascend and we incarnate again, and I feel like the topic of incarnation is cool with you guys, because I'm picking up a lot of Pisces energy. I feel like you're used to the higher realms. But when we choose to incarnate again, then we can choose, and this usually happens, and Spirit has shown me this, where that connection may not have worked in this situation, or you may have grown apart in this incarnation. In the next incarnation, you then are on the same wavelength and you are able to ascend together. That usually happens. And I want you to know that you're still connected to this person. There's still love there. There's that love that you share. It's not like for no reason. We come here to have memories and love and have connections like that, and make our mark like that and learn. And the fact that you've been a part of each other's journey, that's a beauty in itself. You know that saying, don't cry because it's over, smile because it's happened? That's coming through here, pile number 4, about this situation. You know, you shared a moment, you shared love, you shared a connection, you shared emotion, and that's what life is. And there's a beauty there. And I do feel a bittersweet feeling coming through. Let's see. We haven't pulled any cards yet, so let's see. Pile number 4, please, Spirit Guides. It's growing pains I'm feeling from you guys. Pile 4. When you love for life, pile 4. That's why I love Pisces energy so much. Even if you don't have Pisces in your chart, it's fine. It's just taking on that energy. Whatever the case, you are like that. When you love for life. Pile 4. What closure can we bring, pile number 4, on this situation? I just felt someone rub my back. No one's in the room with me. I just felt someone like pat my back. Knight of Swords reversed. Okay. What closure do pile number 4 need? The Tower. Okay. So something's fallen down. Something's there's shifts, I feel, taken on in your life, and people are being removed, I feel, as you're ascending or moving forward. And there's a lot of reminiscing, I feel. Pile number 4, please, Spirit Guides. What closure do pile number 4 need? Yeah, look at that. We have, which one should I do? Yeah, 6 of Swords, Page of Cups, and the back of the deck we have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. The message here, pile number 4, I'm hearing the High School Musical song, Gotta Go My Own Way. I feel like you're stuck on a time period, or you're stuck on a situation. You know, like I said, when you love, you love. And I just feel like whoever this person you're asking about is, I feel like you shared a lot of yourself. Like when you bring people into your circle, I feel like you really allow them to peek into your soul. There's a bit of Scorpio energy coming through here as well. A lot of water energy from you guys, to be honest with you. You allow people, like, they really leave an imprint on you, if that makes sense. You know, like a footprint in the sand. Like, they really leave like an imprint on you. And I just feel like as you're ascending and moving forward, there's growing pains. You know you need to move forward, but there's a certain situation or a certain person you just keep thinking back to, or the emotional connection that you had, you keep thinking back to. Or maybe you got, because for some of you guys, I'm almost being told like there's like one person going that way, one person going that way, but it's like they're coming back. So I don't know whether you're just missing somebody, but there's an energy right now, and it's a message from Spirit to very much embrace the now and stay grounded and embrace where you are and stay optimistic, because there's a lot of changes and a lot of, it feels like an ascension. There's something you're going through that is basically removing the ground from your feet and putting you on a new path. And while that's happening, there's a big flush going on of people in your life and situations in your life. And I feel like this connection may be one. And one thing that I want to share with you, pile number 4, is when we go through ascension, sometimes we are isolated in order to do some inner work or some healing, right? And just because a connection has fallen away, it doesn't mean that that connection's gone forever. I had a friend who was in my life my whole life, and there was a 3-year period where she had to move away for a little bit, and I learned some of my hardest lessons in that 3-year period. There was a lot that went on. There was a lot of distraction. I was quite lonely. There was a lot that went on, but that person wasn't gone from my life forever, because 3 years later, as I was coming out of that period, me and this person ended up on the same path again, and we became really, really close again. That person wasn't gone forever. I just needed to learn things. And sometimes when we're going through ascensions and we're healing, people are removed, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to come back. It's just that the way that connection was with that person when they were in our life at that time, it's a little bit imbalanced and it isn't helping us. So that person's been removed so that we can ascend and move into higher realms and become a better version of ourselves. So then that person then can come back down the line, because I almost feel like this person's coming back down the line, but you would have ascended and changed, and there's a new dynamic within that situation. Maybe that dynamic turned a little bit toxic, or maybe that dynamic became a little bit too codependent, and there needs to be a separation in order for there to be another reconciliation. Because a lot of the time when I do like pick a card, a lot of the time it's a sense of, this person isn't good for you, it's time to move on. But with this situation, I see two people kind of having to learn things without each other for a hot minute and then coming back together. And of course, it's not always the case that people come back together, because some people choose not to ascend, some people choose not to do the inner work. However, there's a message here with the Page of Cups to stay optimistic and stay open, and make sure that you are pouring into yourself and giving to yourself right now. Because there's almost this feeling that I feel like I need to say to you, don't fret and don't worry. Everything is going to tide over. It's a stormy weather right now, but the sea is going to go back to being calm. You're going to be able to see the horizon again, and you're going to understand why it went the way that it did. There's something about it had to fall apart in order for it to come back better. But for it to come back better, you don't want to be fixating and holding on to it, because to fix it and hold on to it, you're pushing it away. You know, that's a codependence. And when we're codependent, no matter how hard we try to build that tower up, it's going to fall down. You know what I mean? We need to be sturdy within ourselves. And there's something happening. It doesn't have to be, you know, being sturdy within yourself and learning self-love or whatever. It doesn't even have to be that. For some of you guys, I just feel like there's a life lesson or a path that you're moving down a minute that may need to be solo, or may need to be without this person because they're going down a different path. And there's a message coming through really strongly about this, to trust the process. Trust the process. This person isn't gone from you. You know, like I said at the beginning, when we have a deep emotional bond or connection to somebody, that person's never gone from us. We've made memories with them. We've connected with them. You know? I'm hearing the Justin Bieber song, Life is Worth Living. I feel like this, you may be feeling a little bit crazy right now, like there's an ascension going on and you don't feel like your feet are on the ground. Maybe there's some things coming up for you guys to purge, and maybe that's why this person's being taken away, so you can focus on that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes the greatest distractions of human beings is other human beings. Like, we get so distracted, especially by like love and stuff like that. We can get distracted by people. And there's something about you having to look that in the eye and nurture yourself and nurture something within yourself. But there's something very light with this Page of Cups, that this person is going to come back. Or to stay optimistic, because it's not all that it seems. You're not seeing clearly right now. Because this person that you're asking about, I do feel that they are a soulmate. There's an emotional connection here. And they're not even focusing on this person that like, oh, this is a harmful connection or whatever. It's not even coming up like that. This person isn't even the emphasis. When Spirit are talking, they're talking about you and you being optimistic and you loving yourself and moving forward and letting the storm take you where it needs to take you right now, and wash you up where it needs to take you right now, because there's a reason for it, you know? The same way that there was a reason for meeting this person, because it would awaken things within you. But there's something about these ships coming back together. You know, like two ships passing in the night and being shown these ships coming back together. I'm literally being shown this. And I've been on someone myself, guys, like I've been on a lot of ascensions. I've done a lot of inner work. I've been on a lot of like phoenix moments. It's always happening. I have a stellium in the 8th house. I'm always doing it. And I'm always like not dropping people, but people fall away from me a lot. And I've learned, I didn't like it at first, because even though I have that stellium, I'm still very fixed. My chart's very fixed. I didn't like it at first, but I've learned to just let things flow. And by learning to let things flow, even like friendships that I've had, that we were really close and they've fallen away, and I've been really upset about it, but they've come back later on down the line better, healed. That person's changed, I've changed for the better, and we have a deeper connection, we have a deeper bond, we have a better bond. You know, people still come back. There's many people that I've let go of, and it didn't mean that they were negative and I had to cut them off and they were never coming back. They came back later on down the line, and it was healthier for the both of us. It was better. There was a better connection, you know, and we were better versions of ourselves, but we needed that time apart to learn and grow. And I feel like this is that situation, and I wouldn't be saying it otherwise. You know me, I'm straight talking like that. I would tell you otherwise. But there's something about this needing to let it breathe, needing to let it be what it is, because something underneath is happening that is for your greater good and their greater good. And your higher selves both know this. Flow. The message here is to flow. That's why you chose the ocean, Jess, but flow like the ocean. Allow the tide, allow the current to take you where it needs to take you. There's things you're not seeing, I'm being told. Pile number 4. Soulmates are never detached to each other, I'm being told to say. Soulmates are never detached. There's never a cut-off. We're all interconnected anyway. All of us are souls. We're all interconnected, you know? Like trees are individual, but they're all connected to Gaia, and they're all one, you know? And there's a message about that. There's no separate. There's no separate. Pile 4. We come here as souls to learn the individuality, like the individual path of a human being, and the yin yang of the human being, and their, you know, the ego and oneness. We learn that on this plane, on this earthly plane. We come here to learn that. Let me adjust the camera. Is that cool? Yeah. Yeah, we come here to learn that. But it doesn't mean that we're separate. Even though in this life we have the illusion of being apart. Into me I see, and I love how the number 8 is up here. Transformation, the 8th house, Scorpio energy. You're going through a transformation right now. That's why things are crumbling around you. But it's for the greater good to come in and take its place. When things fall away, it's because greater comes in its place. And it doesn't mean something's replacing it. Sometimes it can mean that you're going through an up-leveling, they're going through an up-leveling, and you'll come back when you're in a better place. Into me I see. There's something about you where you're going through this enlightenment. You're going through this in-depth. Look at the star here. You're going through this what's the word? You're going through an enlightenment phase. You're getting to know yourself on a deeper level. And I feel like there's growing pains. Look at that sea beyond. And I was saying about clear waters. And how it's stormy right now and you can't quite see what's going on. But I love how both of the third eyes are lit up in this. With the third eye here and the third eye here. Spirit's calling you to listen to your intuition and balance yourself. Yeah, you guys are going through an enlightenment period. And this person's being pulled away for you to focus on you and understand yourself on a deeper level. Because I keep being told to say this person isn't gone. This person is not gone. Pile number 4. You're going through a level up. Pile 4. What message? Pile number 4. What guidance do pile number 4 need right now? The others were closure to let go, but yours is closure to float, to surrender. That's the word, not float. Surrender. Yours isn't about letting go. Yours is about surrendering. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. You're leveling up in every level. And what I'm being told with these scales is this past phase of your life, these scales, maybe they were a little bit disproportioned. You know what I mean? Or you weren't able to reach that depth that you could have reached. So now you're going through that transformation so that these scales can be balanced and you can have an even deeper, better connection. Not just with that person, but more importantly with yourself. Because yes, okay, we're here to have connections with people and love people and understand connections with people, but we are also here to understand and love ourselves. And we come onto earth, even though we're all interconnected, we incarnate on our own. And this is our own journey, because we're here to learn how to be an individual. And that's what Spirit is wanting you to remember. You're here on an individual journey, as well as being on journeys with other people. And the person that's going to be with you from the beginning, from the first breath you take to the last breath you take, the person that's going to be with you is you. You know what I mean? And Spirit's calling you to just surrender and go with the flow. The back of the deck, look what we have. Prosperity lies ahead. So it may not look certain right now, but prosperity lies ahead. And for that to come up for this connection, there is growth. There is growth to be had here, and I see it happening, and I see you surrendering. And I see a lot of newness. Look at that, a new romantic cycle begins. I see that. Storms always settle. It's not always going to stay stormy. Storms always settle, and then the sun comes out. And that's what you're waiting for, the sun to come out. Maybe for the sun to come out on this connection. But focus on you and surrender and keep nurturing you and stay grounded. Because abundance is yet. I just heard abundance is yet to come, like abundance is about to come in. Just keep focusing on you. It doesn't mean this connection is lost forever. But right now it's time to focus on you. So pile number 4, I hope this resonated. I hope this brought you some sort of clarity in regards to this connection, or any healing or closure in regards to this connection. I hope my words helped you in any way. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if this did resonate for you. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys so much for watching.